Hi Green Thumbs! Today is our soil comparison video. We're going to compare and contrast the Black Gold All-Purpose Indoor Mix, Fox Farms All-Purpose Indoor Mix, and Miracle-Gro's All-Purpose Indoor Mix. Let's see how they stack up against each other. Okay, now I've got a little more room and I don't feel so claustrophobic. So to begin with, I think one of the most important things to understand about indoor potting mix is the chemical compounds that make up the potting mix that you're purchasing. Three key ingredients that you need to be aware of and you need to have an elementary knowledge of, which is basically all I have. I'm no expert, but I know that you should look for N, P, and K. N, P, and K stand for nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus in that order. Nitrogen helps to promote new cellular regeneration. Potassium aids in the uptake of water. Phosphorus helps the plant photosynthesize. These three elements are typically called out on every bag of potting soil that you purchase. Sometimes you'll see them designated by the NPK. Other times it will be just a number dash a number dash a third number. And now you know what they're referring to when you see that. So in my mind, I have this video broken into two parts essentially. The first part will be more information, and that will be the beginning half of this video. And then the second part of this video is going to be a couple different tests that I have prepared to test our soil and see if we can tell any immediate differences. As I prepared this video for us, I spent a lot of time reading each product's website's information as well as reading the backs of the bags themselves. As I scrutinized the ingredients on the back of each bag of the products that we are sampling today, I noticed a website kept occurring on the back of the bags. It is www.aapfco.org/metals.org. What this website is, it's a website that is designed for fertilizers and potting soils. They go on, they submit their compounds to this organization. This organization checks them for traces of harmful chemicals and metals within their soil. So you go on there, you submit to this, and then if you pass and you have the acceptable standard, you are approved to be able to sell your products within, the way I take it, specific states. So I thought that was interesting to know. So I followed the website and I got online. The first one we're looking at is Miracle-Gro. You can see that their status was approved. Total nitrogen is 0.25%. Available phosphoric acid came in at 0.13%. And soluble potash came in at 0.18%. Over here on the far right, you'll see the heavy metals parts per million. You can see the different metals that they were testing for: arsenic, cobalt, copper, lead, mercury. It's pretty crazy to think that these things are actually in the soil that we are using both for our plants as well as within our homes. So I am thankful that somebody out there is testing these products to make sure that they are safe for us to use. The next screen you're seeing is Fox Farms soil. They were also approved. Total nitrogen came in at 0.3%, phosphoric acid 0.45%, and soluble potash 0.05%. They also have an added ingredient which the other two do not have. They have 1% calcium. Heavy metals, you can see that they ranked much less than the Miracle-Gro that we just looked at. Some of which, arsenic, mercury, selenium, they weren't even detected. ND stands for not detected. Interestingly enough, the slide you're looking at now is Black Gold's submission. I couldn't even, it was ironic because Black Gold was where I first saw the website address on, telling me to go on and validate their potting soil. So I couldn't even locate the specific bag of potting soil that I had purchased. I have all-purpose indoor potting mix. and it might be kind of hard for you to see, but it looks like a lot of their other products are listed here as being approved. However, the one that I specifically have, the one that we are testing today, I couldn't locate, so I can't show you their results. Next, let's touch on the ingredients specifically contained within each soil. Our first example is the Fox Farms. You can see in this one, I like how simple and easy to understand the ingredients are. It's made of aged forest products, spag moss, perlite, sandy loam, and fertilizer seed derived from below, which is fish emulsion, crab meal, shrimp meal, earthworm castings, bat guano, kelp meal, and oyster shell. You can see that I do have a couple notes on my slide. I'm not sure because I don't suffer allergies myself, so I'm not exactly sure if you were allergic to shellfish, would touching crab meal or shrimp meal or oyster shells be a problem for you? I'm not sure. I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention just in case you or someone in your family does actually suffer from that allergen. Fox Farms might not be the solution for you. And the only other thing that I want to point out on this slide is you'll see this very top line here, aged forest products and peat mosses may make Fox Farms soil more effective at holding moisture around the roots of plants. We will see when we get to Miracle-Gro's slide. Miracle-Gro actually says clearly on the bag that they have a wetting agent within their soil. I don't know if that is the same thing as what we're looking at here and Fox Farms is just choosing to call it something different, or if it is legitimately something different. But we'll see that when we get to Miracle-Gro. Next, we'll scope out Black Gold's soil. They turned out to be the most regionally resourced. You can see here where in ingredients, product is regionally formulated as a blend of Canadian spag moss, peat moss, composted aged softwood bark. Also contains compost, composted rice hulls, composted peanut shells, pumice, cinders, or perlite, composted worm castings, and a controlled release fertilizer. You can see here at Georgia, it says that, again, could have the peanut hulls. In California, Idaho, and Texas do not list the peanut hulls in it. So again, I don't know if that's an allergen issue for you or not. Just be aware that there are traces of peanut dust, potentially, within this brand of potting soil. I also thought this is the first of the two. So 2 of the 3, Miracle-Gro and Black Gold, both have slow release fertilizer, whereas Fox Farms does not. So it says they have been coated to provide 0.10% coated slow release nitrogen, slow release phosphate, and slow release soluble potash. So what I found in researching slow release fertilizer is that they use a polymer to coat the specific elements to prohibit them from dispersing right away into your soil. So it helps to prolong and keep your soil, what's the word I'm looking for? It helps to keep your soil actively fertilizing your plant for a longer period of time than the Fox Farms does. Looking at Miracle-Gro's ingredients, we see that this product is formulated from spag moss, coir, perlite, fertilizer, see below, and a wetting agent. This is the one and only brand that actually specifically says that they add a wetting agent to their potting mix. In Georgia, this product contains 70% spag moss, coir, perlite, and fertilizer, and a wetting agent. So there's a slight difference between what you buy in Georgia versus what you buy elsewhere. If you look down here at the specific ingredients, you'll notice that a portion of this has been coated to provide slow release, which means that part of your ingredient, part of your recipe within Miracle-Gro's potting mix will have a slow release fertilizer in it as well. So now that we've covered the specific ingredients located within each brand of potting soil, let's actually open up the bags of potting soil, see what they look like, compare the 3 of them side by side, and run a couple tests on them. First bag we'll open up will be our Miracle-Gro. It's an unopened bag. So we're going to open that up. If you remember my orchid bark, you'll remember that upon opening it, we saw fungus gnats flying in the bag. I thought it was interesting specifically on this bag down here at the very bottom. If I can get this to focus for you, which I don't know that I can, I might have to insert another screen of it. But it says specifically that it does not have compost or bark, which is known to shelter fungus gnats. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It looks nice and dry. There is some perlite within the soil. In an effort to keep everything as controlled as possible, I'm going to use this old measuring cup to try to keep equal portions so that we can compare what each one looks like. Here's a 1/4 cup of the Miracle-Gro. Looks very fine. You can see the pieces of cocoa coir within it, and you can see the perlite. Next we have our Fox Farms. Immediately upon opening it, and I have a little bit of a stuffy nose and a sore throat, but I can definitely smell the soil within this one. I couldn't smell it in the Miracle-Gro. There's the inside of the bag. No immediate fungus gnats present. And there is my 1/4 cup of Fox Farms. You can see the difference in color compared to the Miracle-Gro on its left. The Fox Farms appears to be damp, but I don't believe that it is. I just believe that it is richer ingredients than the Miracle-Gro beside it. You can see the pieces within the soil are also a little bit chunkier than what Miracle-Gro has. Last, we'll do our black gold. I don't smell anything upon opening in this bag. And there is our 1/4 cup of it. Here's our black gold soil. Our black gold is the only one that actually has pieces of pumice within the soil. So that large chunk that you see there in the middle, that is pumice, not perlite. Other than that, looks very similar. You can see little pieces of perlite. You can see little strands of cocoa coir. And here are the 3 side by side. For our next test, we are going to take our measuring cup. I have the cups marked with each brand as well as the paper bag down underneath, and I'm going to fill each cup with a 1/2 cup of soil. Now I would think directly out of the bag they would all show 0 or 1 with on my moisture meter, but we're going to give it a try, see what it says. The black gold is slightly above the 1. Fox Farms slightly above the 1. Miracle-Gro seems to have the most moisture in it, which is surprising because it's the lightest in color. That is closest to the 2. For the next test, I have 3 plastic cups back behind. Each plastic cup has a 1/2 cup of water in it. We're going to pour this into our soil. I did put tiny little drain holes at the bottom. Only poked 1 in. It's just cheap plastic. So it's gonna explode if I try to poke too many holes in it. But for the sake of trying to give everybody the same chance, each cup has the same tiny little hole that I used a screwdriver to poke a hole with in the bottom of each cup. So let's pour our water in and see how the soil responds. Here's the Miracle-Gro with a half cup of water in it. You can see the water seeping through. Fox Farms, same situation. Black Gold, same situation. I think less water has been lost through the Black Gold. And Black Gold, if you remember, was the only one that did not have a wetting agent listed within their ingredient mix. Let's test each one again with our moisture meter. Now mind you, we just wet the soil 2 minutes ago, so it probably won't be crazy accurate depiction. Oops, I have it on peach. So now right in the middle, on the Black Gold, I am reading an 8. Fox Farms, I'm reading a 10. Miracle-Gro, I'm reading a 10. I'm going to let these sit, and we're going to take another test in another 6 hours. And then we're going to do a third test 6 hours after that. All right guys, I'm back. It's like midnight. It's been approximately almost 7 hours actually. So we're gonna test our soil just based on feel. Unfortunately, I can't find my kitchen scale that I had because I'd really like to weigh these. But just based on feel, this one still feels the heaviest. This is second heaviest, and Miracle-Gro feels like it's the lightest. So let's take them again and see what the moisture meter says. Miracle-Gro is still reading about 9.5. Fox Farms reading at 10. Black Gold reading at 9. Here's what each one looks like. There's the Black Gold. Fox Farms. You can see it's drying on the top. The water is on the bottom. There's the Black Gold. Still looks really wet all the way through the soil. Miracle-Gro. And the top. Okay guys, we'll check it in the morning when I get up again. Good morning guys, it is the following morning, it's 9:30, so it's been an additional 9.5 hours since we last checked our soil. Let's see what we got. Black Gold is coming in at 7.5. Still pretty wet at the bottom, but the top has begun to dry out. If you can see, there is additional water here at the bottom of the tray. Fox Farms is sitting slightly above 9. Again, top is pretty dry. There is water there about halfway through and below. Dry pan. Miracle-Gro is coming in at 9. Dry on the top, wet about 2/3 of the way and below. Dry pan. In conclusion, I just kind of want to go on record and say I'm not here to tell you which type of soil that you should or should not use. This is just really fun for me. I really enjoy the nerdy aspect of doing all the research, finding out the different information, comparing and contrasting the different types of blah, whatever it is that we are doing as part of our soil series, whether it's orchid bark or it's potting soil. I think we're gonna do probably fertilizer next, and I'm working my way up to talking about water. So it just fascinates me, and it's something I really like doing, and I really like sharing it with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I have one last slide for you. I'm gonna put that up on the screen now. This kind of summarizes everything that we went over. Fertilizer. You can see the differences in fertilizer here. Miracle-Gro versus Black Gold versus Ocean Forest. You can see it compare the cost per quart. Slow release fertilizer, whether or not your potting mix is organic, whether or not worm castings are included as part of your potting mix, the wetting agent ingredient we spoke of, perlite as part of your potting mix, and fungus gnats upon opening, because I really thought with 3 different bags of soil that we would find at least one bag had a fungus gnat flying around in it, but we got lucky today. So I thank you guys for watching. I know that this was a very long video, and if you made it this far, I really appreciate you guys being here. So thanks, and I will see you soon. Bye.